All right, so this is where we were. Let me do it this way. Okay. Hey all, this is kind of where we were yesterday, but there's obviously a couple more things going on and it's been reorganized. So let me show you a couple of things we're going to do for the start here, and then we'll jump straight into the speed modeling. And the first thing I'll do in the speed modeling, or the sped up modeling I should say, is one of these pipes, because I don't think I've shown it to the video, so we'll do that. I guess this is kind of the same thing, but it's here. We'll just talk about it in more depth. Or I'll show it in more depth, I should say. The other thing I'm going to show you is that all my objects are like this, and I've started to clean up my mess. And it's kind of important that you put these down at least close to the ground, because when you start baking to get this information, it'll make you not have to shoot your ray, cast way too high to get the information. So, and right now I'm going to leave these big, but really I can make them small and that would make it better anyway. But I'm going to drag this down so it almost touches but not fully. And some of these other ones, and this will just keep my, when I go into Substance Painter, have to not shoot the, or change the scale of where it looks. And like this right here, I'll go into the Poly Mode 5 and I'll grab this and this and drag them down so they're a little bit closer, just compacting them. I don't want to clip through that, so I'm going to pull it up just a little bit. Grab both of these, take this off, and just drag it down till we see it just about clipping, then we'll pull it back up. This one will drag down, clipping up. Okay, this one's pretty close, that's good enough. Go down. This one will go down. This one goes down. And remember, this is all the illusion of what we're trying to achieve here. Really, we're just doing this to get the maps for the next part. Like every cut, not every one, some of these cuts I actually put in, but some of these cuts are just floating pieces, as they call them. And I'll put this down a little bit lower. These probably, I'm going to shrink into each other, but then I'm also going to, and they should be close to the same level. Yeah. That. Grab these two. Make sure I only grab those and then drag these down. They don't need to go in completely, but you know, it doesn't hurt to have them inside of there, and if you get any secondary information from it, that'll work. And then we'll take this, and I think it was already pretty low, yeah. So we'll leave those there. But what I am going to do is take this and shrink it. Well, I'll leave it big for now, because the bigger, more room I take, obviously, the less stuff I have to make. Yeah, it's kind of being lazy, but not really, if you think about it. Okay, since I'm doing this for a video, I'm trying to get the idea. Like, these are floating. They look like little brownie cake cups. So I'll put these there. And look at this. These are close, so it looks like they're clipping, so they're fine. Oh, interesting. This one is just sitting there floating, so we'll put it down. I'm just cleaning up my mess, so when I look at it from a simple direction, I'll be able to see it. And I think this one went too far. No, I guess not. Maybe it wasn't that deep. This is the one that I made when I started, when I realized I got rid of my one piece over here. I just made another one out of one of the other ones. So I hope you saw in the video that you don't have to stick with one piece. I mean, you can change it up and everything. So, alright, I think that's it. I think they're all pretty close to the ground level. And I'll go back in here and make this. So let me explain what this is. This is just a spline that I've changed into an editable poly. And if I look at this right here, this is just me cutting that editable poly and extruding it out. I could have done it with another tube. I could have copied it. I didn't. I just wanted to give it something to come into here, and it probably needs something here too. And I might end up putting a setting around it or something. I'm not super crazy about some of the stuff that's in here, so I can show you when I did this one how to soften it up. I don't mind this kind of corner, but let me look at some research. So here we are, is some examples. I just went online and I looked up like oil rigs or pipes and stuff. Let me see. If if I can see any of this stuff here. And then even if you can't find it, so like oil, let me pull this down here, of course. So like oil rig stuff, so I get all this mechanical things, which is cool. And then I'm gonna pull this to full screen here. And then, you know, all these things, you're gonna look for pieces that seem like they're commonly used, like this piece with all that around in this case, or a pipe insert or something like that. And you're gonna go ahead and try and find solutions. You know, this is kind of cool. It's got all these little inset things that we have, which we'll make, these are outies, so we'll make outies as I call them. And then there's this one that has a bunch of just doohickeys and bebobs is what I call them, doohickeys and bebobs. And here we go. This is a cool one we could think about doing, or maybe something like this. Anyway, you're looking for mechanical stuff, and you don't have to find it on the internet. Let me see if I can get it to change here. But here's some of those, you know, every pipe has this seam if they're not one piece, so they have a way to seal it good. You know, here's another one. Again, I can go through these day in and day out. You're just looking up pipes and things like that. And this is from apparently this above, I'm guessing this is a oil rig facility anyway. So you see these little pipes and stuff, that's kind of what we're doing with our piece right here. I'm going to probably make a thinner one or a thicker one that goes underneath the two that we have. If we go back to this, I'll probably make a thicker one under here. So if I look at these, they do kind of have a sharp bend, so that's okay. So what I did was fine for now. If I come back and I want to fix them later, that's not a big deal. If you make these, let me see if there's any other ones. Okay, so let's go back to, and if you can't find any good ones you like on the internet, then look around. I mean, I'm walking around my park, and this is what we see. You know, we see this kind of stuff, these little pipe caps, these little tops here, this simple stuff. All this stuff can be used as examples for what we're making here. And I don't think I grabbed, there's a big one. So, you know, that's what we're looking for, is these kind of things that we, and the cool thing is we don't have to be perfect, meaning they don't have to be right exactly, unless you're working for a client or something. But for like just the purposes, you want to find something that has a common denominator that you can use over and over again. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to build a fat pipe that goes underneath, maybe on top, so I can cover up some of this that I don't like. And it's more I don't like it from here. I love this bend and this curve, but these feel too sharp, and I think that's a problem. And I could just fix it by taking this pipe here and deleting it, and grabbing this pipe and dragging it. To use that special max version now, dragging it down, and then taking the verts, and actually, you know, it'll be faster if I take this sucker off. I'll detach it real quick, select it, and then go to verts and just kind of move them over, and then maybe move this over just a little bit, a smidge. Yeah, good enough. Okay. And then grab this back and attach them back together. So how did I make this pipe first? Let's talk about that. So pretty simple, but I'm going to put one underneath it that's a little bit thicker. Rather than just duplicating it, I'm going to build it from scratch. So I'm going to go into line mode and grab a dot or click line and do a click there. I'm going to click right after they're holding shift, it locks it to there. I'll hold shift and kind of, well, actually I'll just do a diagonal here. I shift and drag to here, and you can kind of see the corner right there, and then I'll just right click to get rid of it. If I go to one mode, you'll see that I'm missing a vert, so I'll just refine one right there. So now I can add a new vert there. And then we'll go from the front, look at it, and we're just going to pull this one down like that. And pull this one down like that. Okay, and then we're going to take both of these, and with the pivot point set to the, so let me go to the scale tool, go to the pivot point set to the center, and scale them up to the center like that, so they're right on top of each other. We don't have the XY snap that you have in editable poly, but this works fine. This is what we had to do in the old days. Okay, so we'll drag this to here, go back to the top, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, and now we're going to give our corners on it here. So let's see how thick, well, let's do the corners first. So the thing with the fillet is you've got to stick with what you have. If you don't, if you want to change it, you have to get rid of the old fillet. So once you do it, it's stuck. So if I do this and I scroll it and I do something like that, I'm stuck with that until I either delete all those edges or whatever. So what I will do is I'll make it a rendering and I'll turn off on in the viewport. And you'll see it's actually a 3D object right there. I just need to make it thicker. Let's do 10. Okay, 20. Alright, 30. Oops. Oops, 30. Here we go. This one is going to be underneath, right? So I'll tilt this up and drag it down. Oops, and grab the whole thing and drag it down underneath. So it's got that kind of going on. There's another pipe under there or something. And we can even move it over so it's not perfectly aligned, something like that. Okay, so with that still on, we're still in spline mode, right? So we need to go back to vert mode, grab this one, and do our chamfer. I'm sorry, chamfer fillet. Fillet this one, so it's there, and we'll grab this one, and we'll fillet this one. And we'll fillet this one. And we'll fillet this one. Okay, and we'll fillet this one. And this one. And we'll take this one, both of them. In this case, I'm grabbing two, go to there just to pull it in. We'll take this one and oops, pull it in this way too. We could even take this, actually. I was thinking we could move it up to the top, but let's just take these two. Let's try 20. Pull it down a little bit. Maybe pull this down a little bit. We'll go back to that center. I kind of like the way that is. I don't mind the corners being a little off, but okay. I'm going to hide everything but this so I can show you a couple things about this. Isolate. Okay, so right now you can see it's kind of chunky. If we turn on the edge mode, you'll see it's that. Part of that is because we don't have the interpolation turned up to anything but optimized. So if I turn this up, I can make it better. But really what we want to do is turn that off and just go adaptive. So it gives us a nice, clean bend there. Now you can see in here where I did a little bit of boo-boo by moving it. So we'll just take it this way and smooth it out a little bit. And then we'll end isolation. Alright, so now we've got a tube underneath our tube, and then we'll just collapse it in editable poly, and we'll take this tube, and we're going to say attach. Goodness. Here it is. Attach. Boom. And now we just have it breaking up the space a little bit. Okay. So let's go and keep looking for some more stuff to do, and I'll just speed run through these and we'll go from there. Alright, so this is all I'm going to really do for right now. I probably could do some more with this stuff, but I want to get this through here, so let's just organize this up. So we're going to take this one, we'll just move this over here. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at doing for right now is just getting in place, someplace that they feel right. This one I think I was going to use in a different way, so I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to pull this one down here. Oh, that's right. Basically, you want to put squares around everything. Oh, I did want to do this. Take these two, shift and drag a copy of them, like that. And grab this one real quick. Alright, I'm going to show you a little trick. So I want to invert these. Okay, so how do I do that? The easiest way to do it is this. Let me cancel. Object properties. I think I turned on backplace call, so let me just do this. I'm going to rotate this. Oops, not that way. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees or 180 degrees like that. Move this down. Now you see they're black. That's because the normals are facing the wrong direction. So all I have to do is go to here, Control A, and say flip. And now I've got inset ones, right? This one's a little bit more of a dance, but all we have to do is go to the front. Let's just isolate selection, and we'll grab these like this, rotate it again, so it's like that, and then I flip them, and now I've got these inside of there. So I've got two down sets. You could even go one further and pull these down a little bit more. So I've got them up, I've got them down, and I've got this little divot in them. It may... Okay, so we can do one more. And just grab this set here, and we're going to invert it again. But this time we're going to invert from the front. Isolate. My fingers are fast today. Isolate selection. And then I'm going to grab all of these this time. Just like that. Rotate them 180 degrees. Like that. And then do that flip again. And now I've got outies, innies, and ups and downs. So I've got these pushing out from the divots. I've got them going in from the divots. They're harder to tell. I probably could pull these out a little bit more, but for now. In fact, it's fine. Okay, so I've got all those set up. I'm going to move these over here. Kind of all we want to try and do, back from the top view here, is, it looks like I grabbed, let's just delete those then. Yeah, I don't know where those are from. Must have, oh, these guys. Over here. And then what we'll do is we will select this one and say attach. Just clean up my mess here. Or some leftovers. Okay. So like this doesn't really need to, can't really go there because we need this whole area kind of set out. So we're going to move this over. I'm going to move this down. We basically want a box. Okay. Move this up like this. This is in its own box. This can do a box. This is in a box. This one is not clipping anybody, and clipping anybody. Okay. So more or less, we're good.